welcome to everyone coming in. We're just going to wait a few
Ava Williams.
minutes. Yes. We apologize, guys, for the wait. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty with Facebook, but we're all set and ready to go now. All right, so I think we're going to get started here. So welcome to everyone that's coming in. I'm sure some more people will filter in as we keep on going through this, but I know Dalton and DeAndre also have to get on a live as well, so we want to keep it rolling here. So welcome everyone to our very first speaker session of the week. Wisconsin DECA is beyond excited to have everyone here with us today, especially DeAndre Vasquez, who is our speaker session right now. Joey, do you want to tell us a little bit more about DeAndre?
Sorry, I was on mute there. DeAndre is our current DECA executive president, and after serving as a state officer for the state of Washington, he believes that all students should have access to the DECA experience and is a passionate ambassador of the organization. Rashmi?
We can't wait to hear DeAndre begin, but before we do, we here at Wisconsin DECA have a special message we would like to share with him.
Forever and ever for your dedication and passion.
There you go.
Undeniable. So thank you for being an amazing president.
Hey DeAndre, heard it was your birthday today, so I just wanted to reach out and say happy birthday and thank you for all you've done for this great organization. You truly are an amazing president.
Hey DeAndre, happy birthday from Wisconsin. Thank you for all of your help with this virtual ICDC and taking this year to the next level. Have a great day.
Hey DeAndre, it's Rashmi from Wisconsin's Team 55. I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday and thank you for being the best president we could have asked for. You've accomplished many amazing things in your term and made a great impact on DECA. Thank you, and you will be missed. I hope you have the best birthday.
Hey DeAndre, it's Joey from Wisconsin DECA, and I just want to say a huge happy birthday. We're so thankful for everything you've done for us, and we can't wait to see you soon. Have a great day.
Hey DeAndre, it's Arushi from Wisconsin. Just wanted to say thank you for being such an amazing role model to everyone in DECA, and hope you have a great birthday.
Hi DeAndre, it's Taylor from Wisconsin, and Harley and I just wanted to wish you a very special happy birthday and say thank you for everything that you have done for DECA. During your term in office, you have done a phenomenal job, and you're definitely going to be missed next year. I hope you have a great day, and once again, happy birthday, and we'll talk soon.
All right, guys, so we wanted to wish DeAndre a huge happy birthday and thank him for spending his special day with us here today at Wisconsin DECA. And so without further ado, we are going to put DeAndre on the screen and turn the floor over to him.
Oh, man, you guys are going to make me cry. No, sir, I'm not a crier. Well, thank you all, Wisconsin DECA, for that very, very kind birthday video and for all of the work that you have put in to make this event accessible to all of the members. It really does not go unnoticed. I know we're all extremely bummed out as today would have been the opening session in Nashville, Tennessee. But we really do thank you all for your work that you have provided and put in to make this experience accessible. So thanks again so much. So welcome to all of our members who are joining us in from Wisconsin DECA and from all across the globe. My name is DeAndre Vasquez, and I am completely honored to serve as your 2019-2020 executive president. Today, I want to chat with you a little bit about connectivity, but the scope that I want to look at this lens through is what makes us DECA members. You know, is it winning DECA Glass? Is it doing well in competition? Is it our leadership? For me, I think it's far beyond that. I want to take a moment to share with you all my motivation for joining DECA. I'd say my DECA journey definitely would have had us started long before I joined the organization in my freshman year. My freshman year, I was involved in a very tragic car accident that claimed the life of both of my parents as well as my grandmother. And for a young individual, for any individual, that is always a tough event to endure. However, I can say that for me, I was truly left hopeless. A once 4.0 student that was extremely driven and motivated to be the valedictorian was no longer after that event. I had very little motivation to get out of bed. And as you can all assume, very little motivation to do much of anything. However, that is when DECA started to play a role in my life. I was beyond blessed to be to have my advisor, my DECA advisor, reach out to me and say, you know what, DeAndre, you need to join DECA. At first I thought, this isn't for me. I don't want to go into business. I don't think I'm super into it. Honestly, I probably don't even want to be at school right now. I just couldn't see the relevance on how joining DECA was going to somehow help me cope with this emotional and physical trauma after being in that car accident and having 2 broken legs. Little did I know, though, that signing up for that marketing class would eventually lead me to making one of the best decisions I've ever made in my entire life. Sure enough, I joined DECA and I fell in love with it. Taking small steps physically, emotionally, and also within the organization, I was able to grow and to become a chapter officer, where I learned a lot more about hard work, community service, and there is when I initially learned the importance of connectivity. For me, it was no longer about the relevance of curriculum and schoolwork, even though that is instrumental to helping us be successful in any part of life. But I also learned the passion for connecting with one another. I was able to make a very, very great group of friends. I was able to once again find that family and community that had at one point been stripped away from me after so much tragedy. That experience there inspired me to run for state office. So I ran for state office in Washington, DECA. We had great success wanting to make this experience accessible to others. We were able to fundraise over $80,000, and this year translating to Washington, DECA having their largest FLC ever recorded in history due to those scholarships being accessible to students. The success in Washington, DECA, and wanting to once again make this experience as accessible to high school students as it could be, I ran for international office. For me, I think it was more of a calling. I saw it less of a choice and more of as a responsibility to share this great experience and everything that DECA has to offer with all of the high school students across the globe. That was definitely the fuel and my motivation to run for executive office. And thankfully, after being able to spread my vision with hundreds of people and having the contributions of thousands of people across my journey, my DECA career, I was fortunate to become elected as your executive president. Now, why does that matter? The reason why that matters is because I believe that DECA is for any student, right? As you can see in my example, DECA for me, I wasn't super into business, right? Maybe at that point, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Maybe at that point, I didn't have it clear that I wanted to be involved in marketing and have a career in business. But at that time, what I really needed was a family, a community, and DECA was that for me. However, I just want to briefly share another story about Miss Angela Stone, who is the Nevada DECA Association officer, executive director. So shout out to Nevada if we've got any of you watching. Miss Angela Stone is also an alum from Washington, DECA, who her senior year went in, like most of us, to her role play, hoping to qualify for ICDC, and she did a lot more than just that. She knocked out 2 amazing role plays and also was offered a job to work with Microsoft, making $27 an hour 6 months before she graduated high school. You can imagine that is a huge accomplishment. However, the key elements to that story is that Miss Stone had a vision for where she wanted to be. She was professional with what she did, but she knew how to connect. She had known that her judge worked for Microsoft, and she had known that her judge had the job that she one day aspired to have. Once again, connectivity, being able to connect. So the importance here is to remember that, regardless of why you joined the organization, DECA is for everyone. DECA offers everyone something, right? For me, it was that community, that family, that relationship that I needed at that time of hopelessness. But for Miss Stone, it was also that boost that propelled her into her professional career. The importance, once again, being connectivity, different levels, but being able to connect. And although we aren't able to physically be together today, I feel as closer than ever before. It's amazing the things that I've seen over the last couple of days on social media, everyone reaching out, sharing their why DECA. And for me, that is truthfully what is inspiring to continue to serve the organization as an alumni, maybe joining Collegiate DECA, and definitely for the years to come, aspiring to always be involved with DECA. If there's a couple of things that I could share from you, some insight about service and about being a leader, is that people will never remember you for your position, the title, or what you were. I hope that 20 years down the road, you won't necessarily remember me as DeAndre, the executive president, that one year, but more as DeAndre, the individual that was able to share some insight with me and that was able to be genuine and kind and a friend. People will never remember what you did, but more how you made them feel. And the second thing is authenticity. I'll be very honest with you guys. Many of us in leadership often try to please everyone, right? Always trying to make the decision that's going to help everyone. And although that is fundamental and although that is a huge part of being a leader, it's also a part of being a leader knowing that you're not going to make everyone happy all the time. And that authenticity is always the best policy. There will be people that fall in love with you for reasons that you never thought to look at, right? Or for things that maybe you have or you possess that you didn't always value as much as others did. And there will also be those that, will warm up to you eventually, but it will take some time. And that's just part of being in leadership. As long as you can walk away at the end of the day knowing that you gave it your all, whatever it may be, whether it's DECA, whether it's sports, whether it's in a relationship with your family, or whatever it may be, if you can know that you did your best to connect, to be authentic, then you can look in the mirror every day and know that you are being the best you can be. For me, obviously, the passing of our parents has been a huge, huge inspiration to be able to connect, because I realized that time is very, very crucial and time is very short. I'm sure many of you who are leaders right now, whether it's at the association level or whether it's at the chapter level, can also relate that time flies, right? For all those seniors that, got robbed a little bit these last couple of months, ending their year a little bit shorter, that, we often take things for granted. So if I can encourage you all to do one thing, is to reach out, be thankful, and give whatever you're doing your all. And with that being said, I want to also open it up to any questions that you all may have. And once again, thank you so much for joining and tuning in today and being active.
DeAndre, one question that the state officer team would like to ask you is, what has been the impact of executive office on your life and how has it shaped you as a person?
Absolutely. I think the impact that it's made in my life has been huge. The connections I'll be able to have, the memories, the lessons learned are always going to stick with me. I'd say that the number one direct impact is seeing the power of networking, whether it is making connections that will be beneficial to me or to the other executive officer teams or to members down the road. But it's also the ability to network, the ability to slow down in a time where it can be go, 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 and be able to connect. So that will always forever have an impact in my life.
Okay, DeAndre, and we have some fun questions. In a movie about your life, who would play you?
Oh, in a movie about my life. Okay. I'd have to say, okay, in a movie about my life, if I were a female, if I needed to have a female play me, I'd say Melissa McCarthy. She is hilarious. I absolutely love Melissa McCarthy, and I think she's a big old boss, and she likes to have fun. And so yeah, I'd say if I were a female, Melissa McCarthy.
All right, and now, if you had a book written about yourself, what would it be called? We're just doing a whole series about you at this point.
Okay, a whole series, the book. I'd say, what would it be called? Man, that's a tough question. I'd say, I'd say DeAndre Vasquez, the eternal second place, and here's why. All my sports teams, I'm super big into sports. My sport teams are all kind of like just good, but not good enough. So they're always winning second place. My favorite soccer team always winning second place. My last wrestling tournament, winning second place, and I was just like being so close, but not being able to finish. I'd say the eternal second place. Just kind of a little inside joke on that.
And then we have Liam Brown. He's asking, what's your advice on how to get people to be more involved within our chapters?
Yeah, Liam, thanks so much for that question. I'd say finding the relevance. The thing about DECA is that it encompasses so many different things, whether it's leadership, competition, community service, networking, whatever it may be, there is something for everyone in DECA. What we have to do as leaders is being able to take the DECA experience and show them how it's relevant to them, right? So why would someone that's going into the medical industry want to join DECA? Well, because if you're going to own your own practice, you need to know a little bit about business, and then B, those networking skills, right? You never know the colleges that are going to be attending those different competitions or conferences that you attend. So those networking opportunities that you don't necessarily get one-on-one. Also, now is the time to be able to network with professionals, right? When it's a professional, networking with a professional, there's often an insight that they won't give you because they see you as competition. But when you are a young individual wanting to further your career and wanting to become knowledgeable at this age is when professionals are a little bit more inclined to spend more time with you because they don't necessarily see you as a direct competition quite yet, because they want to make that investment, right, in the next generation. So I'd say, Liam, long sentence short, find the relevance to your members, whoever they may be, and connect it back to DECA. What does DECA offer them?
And then, if you could hold ICDC anywhere in the world, where would you hold it?
If this is Arushi, I think you said it yesterday, and my nephew was here watching the live stream too, and we said Hawaii. Yeah, I feel like a big island, big old party at an ICDC in Hawaii would be a blast.
Hey, DeAndre, I'll tell you this. Maybe in a couple years, we can just fly out to Hawaii, host our own ICDC. Anyone who wants to come, feel free.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm thinking that it's going to have to be a board proposal. I don't know if Dalton can hear me, but Dalton, I think we got to work on that as our last thing we leave the next team.
Dalton, who is your biggest inspiration in your life?
My biggest inspiration in my life would definitely have to be my parents. The reason why is obviously, the passing was very, very influential to me. But I also think that for a lot of families that come from, a lot of students, a lot of DECA members that come from families of immigrants, just honoring the sacrifice and realizing that, at least for my parents, they left Mexico when they were 16 and 14, and to build something out of absolutely nothing has always been inspiring and kind of my motivation when I think, okay, I can't do this or I'm struggling. So it really helps me put things into perspective. So definitely have to say they're my biggest inspiration.
All right, DeAndre, what quality is most important for a leader to have?
I think the biggest quality that a leader needs to possess is competence, and competence not only in what they're doing, but also competence and more understanding, knowing that, like, it's okay not to know everything, but it's also, okay to be able to work towards it. Also competence in knowing that there's going to be different leadership styles that you're going to encounter, and just a lot of diversity in whatever you do, and understanding how to be able to accommodate and give a different pitch for a different individual and get the same message around. So just the ability and the knowledge to be able to know that how to make yourself the most effective based on just a diverse background and a diverse knowledge.
All right, so this is the conclusion of our session because it is almost 3:30. So we want to thank everybody who's came to our Zoom, but also everybody on Facebook Live as well. Or if you're watching this at a later date, thank you for coming. And also DeAndre, we really want to thank you from Wisconsin DECA. It really means a lot to us that you came to speak at our virtual ICDC and that you're taking the time out of your busy schedule to do this, especially on your birthday. We really appreciate it, and we thank you for sharing your words of wisdom with us because you're such an influential person in the DECA organization, and we know that you have a lot of wisdom to share. So that is the conclusion. Make sure you come in to see our other speaker sessions. We have Dalton tonight at 6 p.m. Central Time. We also have Kyle Wilcom tomorrow night, as well as Jake Kelfer on Friday. So you guys don't want to miss out on it. This is going to be an awesome experience, and we can't wait for the rest of the week. Thank you, DeAndre, for coming and speaking with us all today. And that is it. All right. Bye, everyone.